Yo, 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 what up, everyone? It's your boy, I Sleep Too Late, and we are on the fifth game of this match, of the league, sorry. We're going to try to rip the bandaid here and try to get through this, because there's a lot of things I need to change in this deck. As you know, we were brewing up a lot of stuff, and it actually has a lot of potential, honestly. I think we need to include Memory Jar. This is a Wheel of Fortune deck that has Workshop in it, and obviously one Bizarre Baghdad, which we're not going to really talk about. This is probably a keep, honestly. They're on the play here, which means we get to wasteland their card, their card. What we can do is we can go Black Lotus, Time Walk, Mana Vault, Crucible. Oh, I love this actually. Are they going to cast a spell? Nice. All right. We are good to go here. Let's see if they have an answer to some of our stuffs here. Let's go ahead and cast the Mox Ruby. Just gonna Black Lotus here. Playing around Days, no less. Let's go ahead and Wasteland the Tundra. And we're gonna continue the stomping with a Mana Vault here. I think we're just going to go ahead and play the Crucible. Talk about a play. And we're going to go ahead and Time Walk here. Take an extra turn. We're just going to go ahead and yield here. Alright, well, the Soul Ring is much appreciated. I'm going to just go Soul Ring. And I think I'm just going to go Bizarre, honestly. We have, like, enough mana that we can just do that. I'm thinking about this right now. Let's play the Wasteland from the graveyard just so we can get more incremental value. And we can just put the Giganta in our hand, which we're going to do. This does mean we won't be able to cast it, though, because... Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It's only one colored red or green mana, so we actually have the Mox Ruby. We could pull this off. 1, 2, 3, 4... We have enough mana to just cast the Giganta, which is nice. They're going to probably keep the Scalding Tarn. And that means we're going to be able to do some good here. I'm not going to pay for Mana Vault. We got our handy dandy Mox Pearl, which actually is kind of cool because that means we get to play the Bizarre. However, I'm thinking, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? We still need to play a spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can play Bizarre. And then just like chillax on the Wasteland. Keep a blocker for Katara. Let's see what they do here. They got Island. They're going to counter. Brainstorm, sure. I don't care too much about Brainstorm. We're just going to yield to this. They've got 3 cards in hand, 6 cards now. They're going to go down to 4 after this Brainstorm resolves. And they've got the Island, which means we won't be able to Wasteland it. But hopefully we can dig into a Strip Mine later on. I really like the way things are going. Let's go Bizarre Baghdad. And we're just going to go ahead and sit steady here. Sit steady. I like that. All right. They got 3 mana. What do they got here? Stock up. Sure. They already played a land, which means we're going to be able to wasteland that Underground Sea with them staying at 2 mana unless they play a Mox or a Black Lotus. We're going to try to prevent that from happening if possible. I really like the Crucible Bizarre Wasteland setup. It's making me want to keep the Bizarre, the 1 copy in the deck, honestly. Because Bizarre Baghdad lets us ditch, pitch not pitch, but like dump lands into the graveyard. And I used to play Containment Construct, but like the Crucible plus land strategy is honestly just good enough for this kind of brew. But the question is, what do I cut, right? That's the thing we always have to ask ourselves. So let's go ahead and play this. We're going to go ahead and cast the One Ring. See what they got here. They're going to force it. That's fair. That's reasonable. They could have probably forced the Gigantha, but I'm thinking they didn't want to. And yeah, let's just go ahead and replay the Wasteland. I mean, no reason not to, right? I'm just gonna... I don't really have any intention to it. I don't really have a reason to attack. I don't want them to attack me, because they get to dig deep into their deck. So I kind of want to sit steady here once again, and then what we can do is we can but tap the Bizarre Baghdad next turn, see if we can find some more stuff to do. No reason to do it now because, you know, we're just going to lose our Underground Sea, which is fine. We can always recast it from the graveyard, but we don't know what our opponent's on. They could be on, like, Graveyard Hate. There are Lurish decks, so they could be on Nile Spellbomb. All right, let's see what they got here. My hunch is that they play one basic island. All right, they're not going to attack, which is smart. And I'm actually going to pay 4 here because I have nothing better to do, like literally nothing. And that way we prevent ourselves from losing life. Let's see if they've got a play. Okay, well, we're going to Wasteland that. All right, I'm just going to Wasteland this now. Go up to like 21. All right, I like Vexing Bauble a lot. Let's play the Wasteland again. And we do have them on a lock, I think, so. Play the Vexing Bauble, and then we can just tap the Bizarre Baghdad now, I'm thinking. Is that smart? Let's just hold off for now. I know I keep saying I'm going to do it, but let's hold off. Because if we find like Moxen, it'll just be like sad for us not to be able to cast it. We're not really in any rush. We're just Wasteland locking them right now, which is fine. But eventually they're going to get a Time Vault, and we're going to be sad. Because that's what they're going to do with Katara, right? They've got 3 counters, and they're going to try to draw 3, discard 1 every turn. So I'd like to start digging deep into my deck once we have 2 cards in hand. We can probably find another card with Vexing Bauble, but I don't really want to break the Vexing Bauble because it's really good against Force of Will, right? So Katara is seeing play everywhere in Vintage, it looks like. It's one of those things where we just have to be very mindful of what we're going to do. I am going to Wasteland the... Oh, this is pretty good. All right, well, let's Wasteland the Tolarian Academy. And then move on to main phase 2, I guess, unless they got gifts and givens. Sure. I got nothing for this. Remember, we have a Vexing Bauble, so if they find anything, we're just gonna like put the 0 drops in their hand. If they do any of that stuff. But my hunch is they're gonna try to find a guaranteed way of getting Time Vaults. And our job is to try to like either... I don't think we have artifact removal. So they're just going to be at 2 mana at the very minimum. And, you know, we've got a Bizarre Baghdad here, so we can activate it, go down to 1 card, and then try to either play a land from our graveyard or find, like, you know, some sort of... Find something to do. I need to really find like a blocker for this 1/3 because this 1/3 is problematic in the sense that it's going to allow them to do a lot of stuff. All right, Cathar Commando is going to go to the graveyard. So these go choose 2 of them, put those into your graveyard, and the rest into your hand. So this is going to go to the graveyard. So recall. Oh, you know what? This is a little scary. I guess we put recall in the graveyard and Cathar Commando. We got to put Cathar Commando in the graveyard at least. And then we got to put Ancestral Recall in the graveyard too. Make them pay the mana. Sorry, let me just mute my phone. This is really annoying. I had to do that. I never like when my phone goes off during recordings. It's really annoying. All right, let's tap and see what we can do here. All right, well, Scrolling Crawler is really good. So let's just go ahead and play the Scrolling Crawler. We can play a land from the graveyard. Let's play... kind of want to play the Wasteland, honestly. Yeah, let's play the Wasteland. We can just keep Wasteland locking them. And now we have a win condition in the sense that, like, if they draw a card, they lose a bunch of life here. And if they go, like, Snapcaster Mage, they're going to lose even more life if they flash back, like, an Ancestral Recall. So, yeah, Black Lotus on Vexing Bauble is great. Like I said before, that was the reason why we did that. It does mean they get the Black Lotus in the graveyard, though. So we are going to have to be careful there. Let's see what else they got. If they attack, we block. And then they draw a bunch of cards here. They draw 4 cards. They lose 4 life. So we're going to let this happen. They're probably trying to find like an answer, like a removal spell or something. But again, like, it's good that we have the Vexing Bauble. Not that it matters. It doesn't really stop like Swords to Plowshares, but it does stop like Mox Pearl, for example, right? Like if they play a Mox Pearl. So we're just gonna block this, I think, right? Let's see what they got here. Soul Ring, okay. That is a problem. They're at 4 mana now. Next turn, they'll be at 4. They could Time Twister, but I don't think they're going to want to do that. All right, cool. All right, that was a pretty solid game 1. I think we played really well. Let's figure out what we're going to do for the post board. Now, again, they are a Katara deck. They're like, I want to say Luris, Control, something like that. So I think we want to bring in like some number of Void Mirrors. I don't know if we want to bring in all 4 of them, maybe like 2. 1 ring gets countered. I think I can stop, hold off on playing that. Crucible was amazing. I don't know if we need 2 necessarily. I guess we could keep the 2 copies, and then, like I said, this deck is going to need a memory jar at some point. I guess we can go down to like, I really like Crucible. I think we're going to go down to like 2 1 rings. Mindbreak Trap is also really good. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is good, right? It's kind of necessary in this type of deck. So let's go down to 1 Manifold Key. And let's go down to 1 Crucible. I know Crucible was like really good that game, but I'm thinking Void Mirror, like having 2 copies is going to be better. We're just doing a little bit of everything. And I do want to keep the Bizarre Baghdad because it was actually really good that game. Just being able to like draw 2 cards. Yeah, I mean, this card is really good, especially when you have a Crucible. You effectively draw 2 cards for free if you can put lands in the graveyard. Like, you put up 3 lands in the graveyard, and it's like, well, you just drew 2 cards, sorry. So it can even be better than a library in that sense. Do I play Library of Alexandria? I don't remember. But this is a pretty, let's see, this is a pretty mediocre hand. I mean, it's fine. We have like some turn 2 plays, but nothing else beyond that. I think it's a little slow, so I'm gonna mulligan. I just think it's a little bit slow. Like, this is a much better hand, right? So let's keep this hand, and let's put back Oh, let's see here. I don't really want to put back the Wasteland, but it sounds like that's the best thing for us to do. Because then we can just go like Mox Diamond, probably pitch the Misha's Workshop. Yeah, I like that. Let's see what we got here. I do like me a Mox Diamond into a Wheel of Fortune. That's like always really good. Alright, well, I think we can probably just... So I think this is a situation where we ditch the island because that's like the worst card in our deck right now. And then we can just go like Urza Saga. Find like a Black Lotus or something. We can go Wheel next turn and do that. We can flash in a Orcish Bowmasters and Wheel. Although I probably would rather just do Urza Saga shenanigans with the tokens. We're not really like a dedicated Storm / Wheel deck like Nekuzar and EDH. We're trying to be an aggro deck that does wheels every now and then so that we can gain all that advantage of having an Orcish Bowmasters in play. Alright, let's see what they got. Portable Hull? Sure. We're going to flash in Orcish Bowmasters. Oops. Let's go here. And this way we have some pressure. This does mean we won't be able to create a token with Urza Saga. But I think that's going to be fine. We're just going to have to Wasteland the Tundra. Ooh, that's pretty good. A Crucible? Yes, please. So I kind of want to just Wasteland them still to deny them mana. It's really good to deny people mana, especially when you're already ahead and you've got creatures on the board. We can always Crucible later. That's like not really a problem. Keep in mind we lose Giganta because we have Mindbreak Trap in the deck, but I think that's a fine trade-off because Mindbreak Trap is pretty important. Might not be that important in this game, but it's still important nonetheless. All right, so I'm thinking we could replay the Saga next turn if we go. Oh, we can't replay the Saga, but we can go Misha's Workshop. Oh no, I'm sorry. We could play the Saga because we can go Black Lotus off of the Saga, and or actually, I'd probably rather just go Black Lotus Wheel of Fortune, honestly. All right, let's float mana here. And I think I'm going to just grab like Black Lotus. Let's just go Crucible. Not in any rush to do things. I'd rather just have a Crucible. See if this gets countered. Nope, no counters here. And then we're just going to go Wheel of Fortune, I think. See if this resolves. They've got to counter this. Otherwise, it's like a problem, right? Oh, they let it resolve. Cool. We're going to remove the Katara. And then we're going to deal the rest to the face. And then we've got a red mana that's free, which I like. We're just going to play out our Moxen. Let's start off with the Moxen. Let's start out by playing our Moxen and do this correctly. All right, so we'll go Vexing Bauble here. They've got to counter this. Oh, they're not countering it. Okay, cool. In that case, we really don't need to go with Void Mirror. We really don't need to play the Void Mirror. Let's just cast Mana Vault. And let's just attack. My hunch is we might win the game, but the fact that they haven't conceded yet makes me a little nervous. It means they still have plays. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Although, oh, they lose here, don't they? Yeah. All right, GG, everyone. Yeah, GG. Okay, so we got some money back, which is nice. Hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Like I said, I play a lot of Vintage. This video, I think the resolution's a lot better, but I just want to say I looked through the replays of my older videos with the other method that I was using. Even though the resolution's still a little bad, I think it's still watchable, especially on a phone. And based on my metrics, the vast majority of people watch my videos on a mobile phone. So anyway, I hope that helps you a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you enjoy my Vintage content, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.